There is a holy interruption unfolding in your life, and heaven is the one who initiated it. You are not here by accident. You were summoned into this moment by divine appointment, drawn into a timeline where God himself is unveiling what has already been written over you. Anointed one, the signs around you are not imagination. They are confirmation that the God who restores, the God who accelerates, the God who lifts without warning, has stepped into your story with supernatural intent. You are standing at the threshold of a breakthrough that was preserved for its appointed time, just as it is written in Habakkuk chapter 2, verse 3, that the vision will come and it will not delay. What looked lost is being returned. What felt denied is being rewritten. What you thought was over is rising again under the weight of divine funding moving in your favor. Heaven is shifting outcomes, aligning steps, and preparing a transfer that cannot be stopped because your future has already been safeguarded. And in the quiet places of your spirit, even now, you can feel the truth of it. Not every reminder arrives through words. Sometimes it comes as something still and steady, waiting to be found just beneath this moment. Chosen one, there is a reason your spirit has been feeling that quiet pressure, that subtle stirring that refuses to let you settle where you are. Something holy is moving toward you, something that has been building behind the veil long before you ever prayed for help, long before you ever knew how deeply heaven had already committed to your future. What is unfolding around you right now is not coincidence. It is divine orchestration, timed with the same precision God used when he spoke light into darkness. You are standing in a threshold moment, and heaven is funding what comes next. I want you to hear this with your whole soul. There are seasons in life when you are surviving, pushing, enduring, trying to make sense of closed doors and silent nights. And then there are seasons, sacred ones, when God steps in and rewrites everything at once. I have lived long enough, prayed long enough, been humbled enough to recognize the difference. And chosen one, the atmosphere around you right now carries the same holy weight I have felt before every major breakthrough in my own life. The same shift that saved me from collapse, the same shift that lifted me in ways I could not have orchestrated with my own strength. That is the shift hovering over you now. Anointed one, everything they tried to use to limit you has become evidence against them in the courts of heaven. Every trap, every delay, every dismissal, every moment when someone underestimated your worth, God has gathered all of it into his hands, not to shame you with the past, but to resource you for the future. Heaven does not just restore what you lost. Heaven multiplies what you endured. I learned that in my own wilderness. I lived through moments where I thought lack had the final word. But just when I had nothing left to hold on to, God reminded me that the vision will surely come, just as it is written in Habakkuk chapter 2, verse 3. Not fast, not slow, appointed, chosen one, your appointed time is approaching like a rising storm of goodness, alignment, and supernatural provision. You may not see the full expression of it yet, but you can feel it. Something in you has been waking up. Something has been whispering, "Get ready." Something in your chest has been burning, even on the days when everything around you seemed still. That is not intuition. That is not optimism. That is the inner witness of someone who has been marked for divine elevation. Anointed one, heaven is reviewing your endurance, your obedience, your character, your refusal to give up when every logical reason said you should have collapsed. And because of that, something rare is being released in your direction, a supernatural provision that cannot be explained by hard work or human strategy. It is something I have seen only a few times in my life, and when it comes suddenly. I want you to think back to the times you held on by a thread, the nights you tried to sleep but felt the weight of what you lacked pressing against your mind, the quiet places where you asked God if he still saw you. I have been in those trenches too. I have questioned myself. I have wondered if I misunderstood the path. But every single time, without fail, God revealed that the silence was not abandonment, it was construction. He was building capacity in me, stretching my spirit, strengthening the foundations of who I was becoming. He is doing the same in your life. You are not behind. You are not forgotten. You are not overlooked. You are being positioned. This is why some doors did not open earlier. This is why certain relationships ended abruptly. This is why you felt isolated when you needed support the most. It was all divine classroom, spiritual training, heaven preparing you for the weight of what you are now ready to carry. Chosen one, you may not realize this yet, but your obedience in hidden seasons has accumulated spiritual equity. Heaven keeps records that earth does not see. Every time you stayed kind when cruelty hit your heart, every time you forgave instead of retaliating, every time you kept going when life offered you no applause, these moments were not wasted. They became currency in the unseen realm, and now that currency is maturing into supernatural funding. Anointed one, the resources assigned to your name are no longer pending. They are active. I know this because I have lived through the moment when waiting turns into release, when prayer turns into manifestation, when endurance turns into elevation. And the signs around you, your sudden clarity, your rising inner strength, the unexpected peace that keeps touching your mind. These are all indicators that God is bringing you into a funded future. And this is not ordinary funding. This is not a small relief or temporary breakthrough. This is transformational provision, legacy-shaping provision, generational shifting provision, the kind that rearranges everything attached to your name. Chosen one, heaven does not fund noise. Heaven funds necessity. Heaven funds destiny. Heaven funds those who survive deserts without losing their oil. And you, anointed one, have proven that your heart can carry what your calling requires. This is why the pressure has increased. Pressure always precedes release. Pressure confirms proximity to breakthrough. Pressure reveals that the spiritual vault assigned to your name is beginning to open. Chosen one, the shift has already begun. Chosen one. There is a holy weight resting on this moment, the kind that only appears when heaven is preparing to unveil something long promised. If your spirit has been restless, if your dreams have been louder, if your inner world has felt like it is stretching beyond what your life currently reflects, that is because God is enlarging the territory within you before He expands the territory around you. What you have sensed is not imagination. It is alignment. It is preparation. It is the unmistakable vibration of a funded future drawing near. And I need you to hear me with clarity. You are not stepping into a season where God merely repairs what broke. You are stepping into a season where God recompenses you, restores you, rewrites the story with such precision that even the parts you never understood will suddenly reveal themselves as necessary pieces of a divine architecture. Chosen one, there were chapters of your life you thought were wasted, years that felt swallowed by disappointment, moments where you tried to force outcomes that kept slipping through your fingers. I know that experience intimately. I spent seasons thinking I had ruined my chances, lost my timing, or fallen too far behind for anything meaningful to emerge. Yet every single time, without exception, God revealed that what I thought was stagnation was actually strategy. He was hiding me, refining me, pruning me, preserving me. And He is doing the same with you. Anointed one, heaven is not late. Heaven is precise. And for the first time in a long time, the timelines of heaven and the timeline of your readiness are beginning to overlap. That intersection, where divine timing meets spiritual maturity, is where supernatural funding is released. You may have looked at your life and wondered why you weren't further ahead, why the opportunities you prayed for kept slipping into someone else's hands. Why you were always the one giving, supporting, encouraging, pouring, but rarely receiving the same in return. These were not punishments, they were assessments. God was testing the strength of your heart, testing your motives, testing your endurance. Not because he doubted you, but because he intended to entrust you with more than you ever asked for. Chosen one, when God funds a person, he first measures their foundation, and your foundation, though cracked by life, though weathered by storms, has proven unshakable. You have stayed soft when life tried to harden you. You have stayed honest when shortcuts tempted you. You have stayed faithful when results were invisible. These are the traits heaven values. These are the traits heaven rewards. Anointed one, the funding coming to you is not merely financial, though financial resources will indeed flow. But before that, God is releasing clarity. Clarity that cuts through confusion. Clarity that resurrects confidence. Clarity that reveals the next step without fear. I remember when God began releasing clarity into my own life. It didn't arrive with fireworks. It arrived quietly, like the way dawn brightens a room before you realize the sun is rising. Ideas began to make sense. Peace replaced uncertainty. My inner voice strengthened. And suddenly, I knew which direction I had been prepared to walk into all along. You are entering that same clarity now. Chosen one. Supernatural funding begins in the spirit long before it appears in the physical. Heaven makes announcements through intuition, dreams, sudden peace, unexpected boldness, divine restlessness, and the unraveling of old desires that no longer match your destiny. These are signs that provision is moving toward you, not away from you. And here is what you must understand. The opposition you've faced recently, the strange resistance, the sudden distractions, the emotional pressure, these were signs of proximity, not danger. When you are close to breakthrough, everything tries to pull you back into old versions of yourself. Not because you are failing, but because you are transforming. I've lived through that internal battle many times. When elevation drew near, old wounds resurfaced, old fears whispered, and old habits tried to grip me. Not because I was weak, but because I was shedding identities that could not cross into the next season. Anointed one, you are shedding old identities right now. This is why your appetite has changed. This is why certain relationships feel misaligned. This is why conversations that once comforted you now leave you empty. God is removing what cannot hold the weight of your next level. Chosen one, you are entering a realm of provision where effort multiplies, where timing aligns itself, where people show up at the exact moment you need them, where doors open before you even knock. That is divine funding. That is supernatural favor. That is God saying, I am backing you. But hear this, divine funding does not move through chaos. It moves through alignment. And the alignment in your life right now is not accidental. It is the result of every season you survived, every lesson you absorbed, every tear you prayed through. You have been prepared, you have been tested, you have been stretched, and now you are becoming the version of yourself that can steward the blessing without losing your identity. Anointed one, the future you are stepping into will not resemble the path you walked to get here. Your past required survival. Your future requires strategy. Your past required endurance. Your future requires expansion. Your past required holding on. Your future requires stepping in. Chosen one, heaven is about to reveal who you truly are. And when this shift begins unfolding in your life, you will not question whether it is God. You will know. The peace will be unmistakable. The provision will be undeniable. The doors will be unexplainable. The timing will be perfect. And your spirit will say, "This is the moment everything was preparing me for." Chosen one. There is a sacred reason your spirit has been sensing a pull, a shift, a quiet but undeniable summons into deeper territory. Heaven is preparing you for a realm of provision that does not look like anything you have ever walked in before. And, anointed one, before the blessing manifests in the natural, God always strengthens the inner vessel. What He is funding in your life is too significant to rest on fragile foundations, so He has been fortifying you in ways you did not always understand. There were moments when you thought God was being silent, when it felt like the heavens were closed and your prayers were echoing back without answers. I know that feeling well. I have lived through seasons where I laid everything before God and still had no clarity. Seasons where I wondered if He had forgotten the promises whispered to my heart. But looking back, those were the very seasons where God was working beneath the surface, restructuring my path, removing what could not carry me, preparing my spirit to hold everything He had planned. Chosen one, that is exactly what He has been doing for you. Anointed one, you have been walking through a divine refinement disguised as delay. While you thought nothing was happening, everything was happening. Heaven has been pruning your steps, testing your motives, strengthening your resolve, increasing your discernment, and awakening your spiritual senses. The tests you faced were not punishments, they were proofs. Proof that you would not fold under pressure, proof that you would not corrupt your assignment, proof that you could be trusted with more. Chosen one, this is why you survived storms that were meant to break you. This is why situations that destroyed others did not destroy you. You were being shaped for an assignment far bigger than the challenges that came against you. And now that season of quiet testing is giving way to a season of supernatural revealing. But here is what most people overlook. When God begins funding a future, He often begins by shutting down what is not aligned. That's why certain opportunities dried up. That's why certain relationships faded. That's why doors that once opened easily suddenly closed without warning. God was not denying you. He was directing you. He was resetting the trajectory of your life so the blessing could land where your spirit, not your emotions, were guiding you. I remember seasons when everything around me seemed to unravel just before God elevated me. I didn't see it then, but now I understand the pattern. Heaven removes what cannot stand under the weight of the blessing. Heaven clears the space so the new can enter without competition. Heaven silences the noise so you can hear the whisper of instruction. Anointed one, that same divine pattern has been active in your life, whether you recognized it or not. Chosen one, the supernatural provision moving toward you is not the result of chance. It is the result of alignment. And alignment is not something you create, it is something you become. You have become aligned through endurance, through obedience, through staying faithful in the dark, through refusing to surrender your identity even when life tried to bury it. That is why heaven is backing you now. And let me tell you this plainly. What is coming will not be subtle. Heaven is placing a spotlight on your next chapter, not to celebrate you, but to reveal the God who carried you. The anointing on your life will speak louder than your words. Your presence will shift atmospheres. Your resilience will draw favor. Your faith will pull resources from unexpected places. That is what it means to walk in a funded destiny. Anointed one, you must also understand that this kind of provision is not random. It is targeted. Heaven does not pour into empty ambitions. Heaven pours into purpose. Heaven funds assignments that build, heal, lift, restore, and transform. And you, because of everything you have lived through, carry a depth, a compassion, a vision that can be trusted with supernatural supply. This is why the weight of the last season felt so heavy. You were not breaking, you were expanding. God was stretching your spiritual capacity, so when the blessing arrived, you would not sabotage it, fear it, or shrink from it. You would stand in it with holy confidence. Chosen one, some people around you will not understand this shift. They will not understand how you rose so quickly, how doors opened for you without explanation, how opportunities found you when you were no longer chasing them. They will forget the nights you cried, the trials you endured, the sacrifices you made when no one applauded. They will only see the elevation. Let them talk. Let them wonder. Favor does not require explanation. And here is a truth that may surprise you. The blessing coming to you is not only for you, it is for every life that will be touched by your obedience. The wealth, the clarity, the doors, the connections, they are being released because of the generations attached to your name. God is not funding a moment. He is funding a lineage, a legacy, a future that will outlive you. Anointed one, the shift you are about to experience is not just personal, it is generational. Cycles will break because of your yes. Scarcity will end because of your faith. Patterns that tormented your family line will dissolve under the weight of the blessing you are about to carry. You are the divine interruption. You are the turning point. You are the one heaven selected to rewrite what your bloodline thought was permanent. Chosen one, you are closer than you think. The spiritual vault assigned to your name is beginning to open. Provision is already